Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I think this lady is saying something that every Zimbabwean, if not every African out there, should sit back and listen. She is talking about women and arguing and so forth, but I think we can look at it in a broader sense. Just listen to it.
Arguing with an emotional woman is a losing game always. Not because she's stupid, not because she's wrong, but because the argument was never about logic to begin with. You come in with the facts, she comes in with the feelings, and feelings don't debate, they override. She is not listening to understand you. She's listening to reload because every word that you say becomes ammo. Every explanation turns into leverage. Every attempt to clear things up just digs you even deeper. And by the end of it all, facts are buried, guilt is now here, and somehow you're the villain and she's the victim. That is not a discussion. That is emotional chaos. And here's what men don't want to hear. The more you argue and snap back, the weaker you look. Strong men do not chase validation through debates. They don't try to win emotionally charged conversations. They also don't need to prove reality to somebody who's already decided how they feel. Silence does what logic never will. It frustrates, it removes the fuel, and it starves the chaos. So, detachment is your power. Your calm is your dominance, and the control is everything. Kings do not argue with pigeons. They don't knock over the pieces. They don't roll in their mess. They walk away. They stay unmoved. They let the noise die on its own. That is not your weakness. That is your mastery. Learn it.
Well, I think she says a very important message here. We in Zimbabwe, we should all be very familiar with individuals who do not care about truth, who do not care about facts, who do not care about reality, who do not care about progress. All they care about is what they think, what they believe, what they set their minds on. They're so single track minded, they are not listening to anybody else. They've got such a tribesman mentality, and their leader is their God. We cannot do any wrong. And this is why we are stuck in this political mess. We cannot run away from the fact that for 45 years since independence, we have failed to run free, fair, and credible elections. And we are stuck. We cannot run away from that. And yet we have failed to move on because there are some people out there who are so single track minded, they're not listening. The last 2 years have been an uphill struggle. Just convincing some people that Chamisa lied to them in 2023. This wasn't the first time. He had lied to them before. In 2018, he told them that he had plugged all the vote-taking loopholes and he had stringent measures to stop Zanu PF rigging the elections. He told them in 2018. And the people believed him. They participated in the flawed elections. And they ignored the warning that if you participate in these flawed elections, you'll give Zanu PF legitimacy. They ignored that. They participated. Soon after the election, Chamisa was the one coming out and complaining that Zanu PF rigged the elections. Come 2023, he repeated the same thing. He told his followers that he had plugged all the vote-rigging loopholes. And they believed him. And they participated in the flawed elections. When you're talking to people like that, these are the people who do not care about the truth, about the reality. They are the pigeons. It is all very well to say kings do not argue with pigeons. But when you face reality, like we have to face reality in Zimbabwe, for 45 years of rigged elections, you have to accept that you have got to engage the pigeons. You have no choice but to knock some sense into these pigeons' cupcakes. We cannot afford to participate in 2028 and give Zanu PF legitimacy. That is the reality we have got to face. After 45 years of rigged elections, with the nation in serious trouble, we really have to break this meaningless and madness of participating in rigged elections, giving Zanu PF legitimacy, and then we spend the rest of the time complaining that Zanu PF rigs the elections. Why are we giving Zanu PF legitimacy when we have been warned that if you participate, you will give Zanu PF legitimacy? We have got to accept that when the pigeons have a vote, have a say in defining the destiny of not just the king, but of the whole kingdom, then we have no choice but to engage the pigeons and knock some sense into the cupcake pigeon heads. The millions of Zimbabweans who participated in flawed elections to give Zanu PF legitimacy, we have to engage them. Because as long as they keep on participating, being conned by the likes of Chamisa to participate, we will never break this cycle of rigged elections. 2028 elections must be a watershed in one respect, that it is the year that the Chamisa Chete pigeons finally opened their eyes and stopped participating in flawed elections. Our duty for the next 2 years is to knock some sense into those cupcake pigeon heads. We should not be found wanting in carrying out that tax. Thank you very much. Have a good day.